Hey guys, how's it going? Jacob here, and today we'll be building something really cool. The thing you just saw. So basically, we'll try to automate solving coding tasks with Python. So what I mean is, as you know, you have a lot of coding websites. Let me show you those. So for example, you have a Hacker News, Hacker Rank, you have a SPO, you have CoderByte, Code Wars. There's a lot of them. And the one which we focus today will be a Check.io. But yeah, basically what I mean when it comes to those coding websites, what is it? Is whenever you prepare for a coding interview, mostly for actually like to every developer job, right? Like it's super popular for those FANG companies, but you basically whenever you try to get a job, you'll probably get some coding tasks. So on SPOI, for example, you have some like text, like description of the task, some input and output, and you have to create a script for this, right? So let me just open the website which we work today. So this is the website. For some reason it has this white thing here, but it's not a problem. This website is really cool. It's really interactive. As you can see, you have some islands here. Also, I'm already logged in. I have level 4, but it doesn't really matter. So if you click on home, right, you have different tasks here. And let's say, for example, this one, right? When we click on the task, there's a description of the task, some example, and we can click solve it and actually solve the coding task. There's an online judge, so you can submit your code and it has to run through some tests. Online judge will evaluate if your code is correct. Okay, cool. So this is like the main intro here, and what I want you to build with you today is a script which will basically automate the whole process. So right now you can see how it looks like. So basically our script is going to going for different tasks and trying to solve them. And yeah, let's start building this. And here also I want to ask you for a quick help. Especially in the beginning when you're running your software agency, it's super hard to get a new client. So if you're watching this and if you have someone in mind, maybe your neighbor, maybe your friend, that is looking for some automation project, some coding project, hit us up. contact@selfmade.dev. You'll probably see this on the screen. Also, you can check out our Instagram here. And yeah, just wanted to say thank you a lot for all of your support, especially in the beginning. Alright guys, so let's build our project, but first let's plan it a little bit. So I just created a new directory. Let me show you. And yeah, let's create the file with the command touch, script instruction. Alright, so let's open it. We can actually use already PyCharm for everything. So in my case, it's charm dot. I have the alias for it. So it opened up the PyCharm, right? And let me open the script. So now we have to think about how our script will work, okay? So let's do some kind of file about it. So what is the goal? Right? So the goal is to level up the account. The goal is to solve as many tasks as possible and get the levels. Now, how to do it? Okay, how to do it? In order to solve the task, we may have two options, right? First, create a machine learning algorithm which will solve it for us. Or second, easier one, go to Google, find a solution and paste it and see if this works. In order to do it, let's see how we can do that, right? Let's say we are going to click on a home island. And there's, for example, task called 3 words, right? As you can see here, we have instruction, right? What is necessary to accomplish it. But in order to accomplish this, we can take this free words and write check.io free words. So we can even add Python to it. And now here we see that on our Action Day websites, we can actually find also the solutions from some other people. Okay, this is not the solution. This is the task. But here we can see the solution. So see here, solution for free words. And what we have to do is we have to take this and paste it here, right? Click solve. So let's see how we can do this. Let's take it first manually, right? Paste it and click check. And boom, task solved. So this is actually how our program will work. And obviously it won't be that easy. There will be a lot of things which we have to face, right? Because there won't be sometimes solutions. Sometimes like solutions will be wrong. So we have to handle all of this. So now let's think about it. Let's go back and let's kind of write the logic. So first, we have to open the browser and log into the check.io and go to the main page, right? All right, second, once we are here, let me show you. Once we are in a menu, we have to get information of all of the islands, right? So here you have island, which is actually not unlocked, but those islands are already unlocked and we can actually go to them. So we have to get their address, we have to get their links. All right, next we have to go to the island. So this is, for example, the island, and we have to get information about those tasks here, if they are like unlocked or if they are already solved. All right, then once we get all of those information, we have to click on a task which is not solved and find the solution to it in Google, as I showed you before, right? So once we do that, we have to go back, we have to click solve, paste it, and see if this works. Now, once we have it again, the magic thing which happens is once we click solve, here the URL add the /solve to it. So you have to also do it. And later we have to click the check, wait for a solution. We have to wait for a judge here and see if we pass. Here of course we failed because we didn't paste anything. So you have to also check it. So I would say we'll give like 5 tries of one solution, right? And whatever task is not solved, we go back to the point 5 and repeat the algorithm, because sometimes we may not have a right solution. And then if all of the tasks are kind of solved or we skip them, then we move to the next island. All right, so those are basically the steps we have to create, we have to follow in order to make our algorithm works. And now we will gonna code the whole thing from scratch using Selenium, which actually is a testing framework, but basically it allows us to create also bots and nice automation scripts because it behaves like a human. So let's get to it. So we'll start by creating a JSON file with secrets. So of course I won't put it now, I'll just cut it, but basically in this file we'll put your check.io account, so make sure to create one. So let's create a virtual environment very quickly using Python 2. I mean Python 3, but of course you know what I mean. Alright, so we have all of the libraries installed, the WebDriver Manager, BeautifulSoup, and Selenium. If we need some more libraries, of course, we'll add them later. Let's clear the console and let's start coding. So let's start with importing the JSON. And now let's create the function which will just read our credentials in the beginning. Also, let's see if our PyCharm is configured. If you're using Visual Studio Code, it's also very easy. Let's go to Python interpreter, and as we can see, we have to pick the new one. Okay. Cool. All right, right now let's create a very quick data class. It's a very nice thing in Python, lighter than a class, but it's very nice to remember and store information. So this will be our one single task with a name and with the link. It's from the check.io. All right, now let's create the main class called check.io solver. In the beginning, we just created initialization function, right? We assign login password, the Google URL, base URL for check.io, the search text for Google, which will find the answers for, so it's Python check.io, and then there will be na, which is, for example, the name, it's the name of the task. Then to self.driver, we assign the web driver, which is the Chrome in this case. So this is basically our browser. And instead of downloading the web driver from the internet manually, our script will do this too if it's not installed on our computer. And in order to do this, we need the Chrome driver manager install. So we also import it here. And also very important thing is that I assigned the command or control, because whenever you're on a Mac, you have the command key, and whenever you're on a Windows or Linux, then you have the control key to copy the text. So it's just something to point it out right now. All right, so now let's create the function for a single iteration over our check.io islands, all right? We are going to create a function which is going to log in us to check.io. This is like the first step to do. I put asleep, so once we log in, we will have 5 seconds to just see if we actually logged in. And then after everything, our driver will quit the browser. And yeah, so let's create the function. So let's see what happens once we get on our base to our base URL. Let's put a sleep here. Oh, actually we have a sleep, so it's not a problem. Let's just execute our function now. Of course, I'm stupid, sorry guys. The basics. So as you can see, it downloads the Chrome driver, it downloaded the Chrome driver, and now it goes to check.io. And it tried to, first just go to check.io and see what happens. So as you can see, this is what happens when we are on check.io. We have to click Python next, right? Oh, but yeah, our browser just closed. But this is what happens actually if we go to check.io. So let me open the incognito, right? So once we are on a check.io, this is the place where are we? Yeah, this is the place where are we? So we have to click Python to go further, and now we have to fill the username and the password. And how do we do this? Is we have to go here, we have to inspect, and we have to find the element by here. We see it's a ID username, and the password is ID password. So we gotta do this in the Selenium now. So this is how we get on just on the Python check.io, right? So we clicked Python. So this is one step before here. We click Python, And we basically use just find element by link text, so whatever it's a Python in the link, it will work, okay? And now the second part is actually put the credentials to the form. All right, so now we should be able to log into Check.io. Let's test it out. So again, this is the function. We just put stuff here, then we click submit, and we should be redirected to the main page of the Check.io after authentication. So let's get to it and let's see how it looks like. So you go into the page, click in Python. We are putting our credentials, or at least we should. For some reason it doesn't work. Let's see why. Oh, yeah, we forgot to just execute the function. Of course, now we should be good to go. So open our browser, we click Python, and now email is already there. It was super fast password, and it logs in. And yeah, we are on a Check.io main website, and we can do our further steps. All right, so what we're gonna do is right now we have to get all of the islands links. So as we discovered, as we are talking about here, right? We have to get all of those islands links. So once we go to Check.io, so once we are here, right, we have to get all of the IDs, and all of the links of those links. So to go here, click, right click on developer tools and see how are they named here, right? So we can already see this thing, which is something repetitive, right? So we can get the map station state open. So it means that this is the open island and we can gather its link. All right, so here we use the XPath selector to find the div which contains the class map station opened, and this will return the open stations to us. Okay, so in order to get just a link, we have to iterate over those divs and get a CSS find element by CSS selector. We're going to do a map station link, which is right here, and we're going to get the attribute href. So in the end, we'll have the links, of course. So let's print our links right now. Let's see if we actually got it. So as you can see here, we got all of the links from Open Station, which we can go in and then find information about our tasks, if they are solved, they are not solved, and solve them. Okay, so we're going to iterate over all of the islands which we just found right now. And in one iteration, so here we're going to for island in links to island, we're going to deep dive in just one single island and all of the tasks. So we're going to first get, once we are on the island, so once we are here, we're going to get information about those tasks. So get unsolved tasks from the island. Let's create this function now. So we just imported the BeautifulSoup, which is the HTML parser, which will help us to actually, let me show you, which will help us to actually easier navigate over the HTML. And the great thing is, and not so many people know, is that you can basically mix Selenium with the BeautifulSoup, which is really a game changer. So let's get to the island, like as we are right now, and let's file the information about those tasks. So here, island task container, it's basically information about one single task. And we have to pass the page source from the current website. All right, so it took me a while to figure it out, but I got it. So basically, first of all, we're looking for a sign here. So this means that the task is solved, right? So whenever there's the sign, if it's inspected, there's a title called solved. So that's the first case. So whenever there's a solved, we just pass it, right? But if the task is not solved, then we gotta get a title from this class and then link, and we're going to create the task data class, which we implemented here, and we are going to append it to where is it? Here. And we're going to append it to our unsolved tasks, and whenever there's exception, we just print it. Now I know it's not the best handling exceptions, but when it comes to web scraping, we don't want to exception to crash our whole script, so we're going to just pass it and we can print it out. But yeah, we're going to return unsolved tasks from this function. Now let's see how many there are unsolved tasks. All right, so let's solve the tasks if there are tasks to solve. If there are not, then there are no tasks to solve, and we're going to a different island. And of course, we would like to wait till something like 4 seconds before we switch islands. But yeah, let's create a function right now which actually solves the tasks on one single island. All right, so now we're going to iterate over tasks to solve, and if we solve the task, we are going to implement this function just in a second, then we can inform the user, and otherwise we are going to write that we can't solve the task. So let's write a function which actually solves the task right now. So if we go back for a second, we are here, we check all of the information, go to the link of the task to find a solution of a task. So this is basically kind of solving the task right now, right? This function, this from point 5 to 7, we're going to cover it right now in one function. And now we are going to focus a little bit on this function, which is going to go to Google, find the links with our solution for our task. So now let's think how to get to Google. So of course, when you go to Google, the first thing which pops up is this thing, right? So we need to kind of put the stuff in here, so inside the Google thing. And the nice thing is about just a queue, like it's a name queue. You probably can't see it, but it's very easy, so let's do that. All right, so in this point, we are in a Google, and we're going to Google for a solution. So let's see if this thing works. We can run just this function right now, okay, to see if the Google works. So in order to do this, we're going to comment out everything here, this thing, and we're going to create bot search text, and our text will be, for example, the task which is called, let's say, bigger price, right? Let's do this. Let's go here. Sorry, not search text, but Google, get Google solution for task. right? So you should go to Google, find a element, send the keys, and after sending the keys, let's put a time sleep for 1 second, and let's submit our form like that. And again, time sleep, maybe 2 seconds, and let's see what will happen. All right, bigger price. Oh, I didn't pass the yeah. This is what happens when you don't do types in Python. I should pass the task here, as you can see, data class, so we can do this very quickly. So let's do task, right, with a bigger price, and then second argument is basically the URL, but doesn't really matter for now. So now we're in a Google, and we're looking for Python Check.io bigger price, and as you can see, yeah, it Googles. Like we got some results. We got some results, and now we basically have to get those URLs, right? So let's get this URL, let's get this URL, and try the solutions. So for example, we go here. That'll be our first, let's say. Oh, this is actually the task, right? But the solution will be here. That will be our solution, and yeah, we'll have to try this solution later on. So let's do it right now. So yeah, here we had a miss. We had just one small typo. The one. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's do it. Google solution, time sleep. All right, so in order to get solutions, we need to look for addresses, which in the XPath they have the R, which is the results from the Google, and they contains the href with publications inside. So here you can see the publications inside. Oh, there's actually the like the Beata Baczynska is actually the girl I was going to uni with. That's pretty funny. So I know her. Hi, if you're watching this, we are getting your solution from the Check.io, and but yeah. So this is how to get the Google results. All right, so basically from the results we're just going to get the attributes hrefs, and we're going to return the list with the Google results. All right, so let's go back to solve one task. So those are our solution links, and now what we have to do is we gotta solve the tasks, like literally copy the code from the solution page and paste it to the task. So first we gotta copy the solution. So whenever we are on the page with the solution, right? For example, here, for some reason my debugger. Okay, we have to go to this area and we have to copy everything. All right, so let's do this. So let's create the function called copy solution. All right, guys, so this is the whole function for copying the solution, and there are a few things very important. So first of all, we gotta find the whole area, which is here, which is publication info code. So this is the area. Inside it, we have to find elements by the XPaths, and those are those style padding right. So we can see there is 1, then there's another, and so on. So those are the lines, and inside every line there are spans, which are single words. So we have to kind of grab all of them. Here we iterate over them, and we have to append them, the text from them, and in the end append the lines, the whole lines to our array, and this will be our solution. Okay, so that was a little bit harder. I hope you followed me with this, and yeah, let's get back to solving the task. So we got a solution code, and if there's solution code, right? So if our function return actually some code instead of like empty string, and if if we solve tasks, then task will be solved. So let's create the function now. So let's create the solve and check task function. So in order to solve and check the task, we have to first go to the URL. So let's go right now to, so let's say we copied all of this, right? And let's go to 3 words. So this is our task. I still have no idea. Let me just go to console. Yeah, so yeah, here. And in order to solve it, we have to first click solve it. Or we can just go to this URL, it doesn't really matter. And there's another thing which I'm not sure if I can show you guys, but sometimes whenever we solve a lot of tasks, we get badges, and those are like the pop-ups which we also have to take care of. So right now I will just take care of this, and you'll know what's the code for it. So this is the badge code. I just pasted because just wanted to say that we can't really see this right now, and it's not that easy to replicate this. So you'll have access to it, just a try exception. So we can go further, right? So let's we click the solve, and now what happens is we have this area here, and what we have to do is we have to, okay, this one is not the best example because it's already solved, right? But let's go back to some other task. So here you will see that in order to paste it, we have to find this text area. So here you have a text area. So this is what changes. And I believe that once we get the text area, we can just send the keys there. Okay, so once we got our text area here, what we have to do is basically we have to click Command or Control A, delete everything, and then iterate over our solution, send keys in every line, because as you remember it was the array, and then click the new line and keys home, which means go back to the end. So if you do it, it's better to do a home. So basically we go back to the beginning of the each line. Okay, so this should solve our task. This should paste the solution, and now let's check the solution. So in order to check the solution, there is this button check. We're going to inspect this, right? And we're just going to click it. And whenever we click in the check, there's actually the loading animation. So we kind of have to wait a few seconds. Well, depends on the complexity of the task till the judge gives us the the response. So here's a fail, but once we get that solved, then we can move on. So let's find some. Let's go to something which we already solved. Damn it! And let's see what the text is there, like what the button looks like. So for example, here we do check. We wait, right? As you can see. And then there's a task solved, so we can also check this. All right, so once we wait, we give a few attempts, and every attempt waits 2 seconds, so it's like 40 seconds to give judge actually till the end of the task. Then we return true, and on the other case we return false. So that was a long function, but now I think it's time to check it out. All right, so there's a small mistake which I just discovered, just a typo. Whenever I wanted to do this, there was a wrong symbol here. So let's run our script one more time. All right, so here the small feature we have to add. So task can't be solved and task can't be blocked. Those are the tasks we are going to work on. So as you can see, our bot is basically killing it. Our bot can find solution to almost every task here and solve it easily, right? So yeah, guys, I hope you like this this kind of thing. Let me know in the comments, because I'll be building more of this, because basically my agency, which I'm running, software house / agency, basically me and my friend Wojtek, we are all we are building those kind of automation scripts for companies. So also, if you are watching this and if you know someone who may need something to be automated, hit us up at contact@selfmade.dev. You'll probably see this on the screen. Okay, our script is still killing it, but yeah, guys, it's been really nice to build this with you. I hope you like it. Let me know in the comments what do you think, and also you can find like GitHub code in the description. And yeah, guys, subscribe to the channel. As you can see, the bot is still killing it. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time.